Welcome to Best Picture Cast on the Feed, where Kieran B and Joey R talk all the goings-on this month in the world of cinema. Joey, this is our birthday of On the Feed.
It's crazy. That
1 year.
It's amazing that we've been doing this. Like, I'm thinking back to a year ago, the movies we were talking about with the Oscars, what came out of Sundance that we ended up watching and talking about, what didn't, and the fact that we're here again in this glorious studio feels surreal, honestly.
That's the big kicker. That's our big birthday present. We have producer Chris G here with us.
Hello, hello.
There he is. He's the disembodied voice here today.
Man behind the camera.
Yeah, it's wild. We've gone January to January. I think our first On the Feed, we were pre-nomination talking about who was going to get what.
We did it like December 30th, right before, and then the second episode was all about the Noms.
Yes, yeah, but yeah, we've done a trip around the sun, and we're kicking into gear post-nomination now.
We have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I believe that this episode is going to air tonight. Like the night we record is going to be the quickest turnaround I've ever had. So you're gonna those of you who are hearing this on day of download, you are getting a stream of consciousness from us. This is how we are thinking in the moment, in the now.
And I love it because we'll talk during the Oscars. I did some self-indulgence this year, and I think getting this out stream of consciousness is the right way to go.
Definitely, and I should basically lay it out for you. You can watch this too. You can check us out on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Best Picture Cast. Simple there. Go there, subscribe. And I believe the episode in its entirety should be out there. So we're going to build our YouTube page up as we go. It's going to be kind of thing where not every episode is going to be on there, but there will be some clips. There'll be some abridged episodes. There will be plenty of content out there to check out. So you can watch us squirm in action as we do these things here. And there will be plenty of squirming when Joey has his Som questions for me.
I think I was nice this month. After last month's like 30 questions, the five of us, the epic Som questions, I went, but it's all very Oscars focused.
Okay. And I don't do this often, but I will have a Som question to fire back for you today, which you may already just know the answer to. So we'll see. If you don't, it's going to be fun. If you do, you'll just fire it off and we'll move on.
I hope I don't.
Excellent. It is Oscar related. I'll put that out there. So.
Okay.
So Joey, what's going on with our good people at Kalshi.com, our wonderful sponsors there, Kalshi.com, KALSHI.com. What are they up to this month?
Well, Kalshi, right on their homepage, it's Super Bowl. The Super Bowl no one wanted, but you could bet in it. And then really, it's the Oscars, right? Mm-hmm. There's all this stuff about what's going on with the world, but that's not fun. So let's talk about, Oscar for Best Picture, right? The big one at the top is Brutalist versus Emilia Perez. What movie's going to win the most Oscars? It's The Brutalist versus tie.
Wow.
Yeah, Oscars for Best Actor, Best Supporting. You could really get in there and have, they go through everything. How many Oscars will Dune Part 2 win? I made this category, so it's 0 or 0. But, Kalshi's great.
Yeah, and they had reached out to us around this time last year because this is the Super Bowl of cinema here, the Oscars. So there's plenty of activity going there, and make your trades, place your bets, do what you got to do there. So Kalshi.com/Best Picture Cast, so they know that you got there via On the Feed.
And this is, because On the Feed now is very nicely feeding into our My Year and Adams preview episode that we do for the Oscars. So there's just a lot of content Oscars-wise. So get in there, get in with Kalshi. Let's do it.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder, too, is we have our big Oscar special coming up.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's become a yearly tradition here. It's always one of our most downloaded episodes of the year. Be the two of us and Adam from 1001 by 1, Adam St. John, and we give our picks. It's not a prediction situation. Right. We're going to go with the above the line categories. We're going to pick our winner, pick who we think we would bounce if we had to bounce one.
Yep.
And then when we get to Best Picture, we are going to rank the 10. We start at 10, we climb our way up. Hopefully, we will have seen them all by then. I think I'm lagging a bit. I
was all set. Me and Adam just have one each, and it's the same one. It's the one that fooled us all.
Yes. Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
And that's an availability issue.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying. I'm just reaching out to people, be like, hey, who has this to give? But we'll be able to see it. We'll record it. We'll talk about it. Adam's going to Detroit for it. So we're ready. Monthly roundup.
Here we go with the monthly roundup.
And unfortunately, we have to start with sad news. David Lynch has died.
Yeah. There's been a few of these throughout the months of On the Feed where we do our kind of early episode in memoriam situation. Yeah. This one really shook you a bit here.
Yeah,
Joe.
Normally, it's like, oh, that's sad, but I move on very quickly. There's less than a handful where it's actually bothered me. And this one's got me. So I've been watching David Lynch again, which is always fun. Because at this point, it was 2 years ago since we did the rankings at 1,001 by 1. So love David Lynch. Love seeing all the interviews that he's done and all the stories about him. Because that's been, he was very thought about movies in a very interesting way.
Yeah, and David Lynch is a filmmaker I definitely respect. I know I've taken my shots at him over the years here at Best Picture Cast, just because his dream sequency style of filmmaking just is not super compatible with my personal interests. Right. But I do respect him, and Mulholland Drive was one of the films that I saw. It was one of the first films I saw that made me scratch my head. Where I was like, absolutely. Whoa, what is this? I probably was 16 or 17 years old. And it was like the first time I was like, oh, okay, a filmmaker can do this.
Whatever they want.
So that always left an impression on me. And, some of his movies I enjoy, some of them I do not enjoy. And there's quite a few blind spots for me too. So sure. I'll probably, in the next year, look to fill some of those blind spots and maybe give some second chances, not all second chances. I was recently on with you guys on 1001 by 1.
This was so good.
We did an episode on Jacob's Ladder.
Great episode.
Over there, you guys really record ahead of time. So
yeah,
I think
we're about 7 weeks out.
Yeah, we recorded that one probably around Thanksgiving or so.
I think it was the two Tuesdays before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so it was mid-November, and it just came out here mid-January.
Yeah.
And of course, I take a big bold shot at David Lynch in that, and the episode comes out the day of the news of his passing. So
yes.
I just look like an absolute jerk. So it was not.
The timing of that was unbelievable. Not I actually forgot that, and Britt was like, "Ooh, Kieran."
I heard that and was shaking my head myself. But hey,
whatever.
What? Yeah, like I said, all respect for.
We can all take shots and still respect each other. That's all right. But yeah, David Lynch, go watch his movies.
And go check out the 1001 by 1 rankings of David Lynch. You did the whole.
We did everything. Whole filmography. Yeah, and then we speak about Twin Peaks a lot. It's good stuff. Even if they're not all for you, there's definitely something for everybody. The guy's real interesting, and he's someone that a lot of directors have taken from. So, all right, on to happier news. Christopher Nolan and his wife Emma Thomas have been knighted by the King of England.
Oh, Sir Christopher Nolan. I thought he was already knighted. So
so did I.
Yeah, I think I might have even called him Sir Christopher Nolan a couple times.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, there we go. It's official.
When I saw that, I was like, I thought they did this already, and I was wrong. All right, so Nikki Glaser hosted the Golden Globes. I think she did a great job. She's going to be back next year.
Okay, yeah, she seemed to get the tone right.
Yeah, absolutely. His last year was
he did not get the tone. And sometimes it doesn't even matter the jokes you're making.
Doesn't matter.
It's how you deliver them.
Yep. And he missed it. She understood where she was, and she did a great job.
Yeah. So, and they announced she's back to do it again next year.
She's going to do it next year.
Yeah, I mean, a Golden Globes better stick with what works because they don't do a whole hell of a lot that works.
No, because when things go bad over there, they go real fucking bad. Yeah. So, be smart. All right. Presidential Medals of Freedom. Denzel Washington and Michael J. Fox got some Presidential Medals of Freedom this year.
Yep, saw that.
Which very happy about. Cool thing. So Sing Sing, the release was completely botched. That's a different episode. We'll really get into that. But when they finally re-released it in theaters, they also released it in prison simultaneously. First movie ever to do that, and it was in 1,100 correctional facilities.
Wow. Now, did they do it like movie night, like Shawshank style, where they're all like around the...
Whatever their TV system is, they released it on there. So I'm sure it was this time every day type thing.
Check in there. Okay.
But it was released, and it hit like 50% in different areas. So, Sing Sing's a fantastic movie, and I'm glad people are seeing it.
And that's not common for a new release to hit.
Never. There's never been done before where they've done in theater and in person at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so are they normally? Is it kind of like plane movies? Like they'll show,
Probably.
they show things that are on a delay or some
Yeah,
sort.
it's
When they're
probably
in
when
VOD or
someone buys whatever that distribution agency buys it up, and then they put it out that way.
Gotcha.
So yeah, all right. So this normally would go in awards chatter, but it's going here for a specific reason, just so we could call back to it.
Okay.
For the acting categories this year at the Oscars, they are bringing back where they bring out 5 former winners, and each one gives an introduction to each one of the nominees individually. So
Yes.
they're doing that for the first time.
Which we liked. I do have
Loved
a take on this, which is not. I can't claim a sole possession of this take, because I think it's a very popular take amongst the internet. So we'll see what you do, and then I'll.
Yeah, so I like this, but what we and Kieran are going to do in the awards chatter later, after we talk about who the nominees are, we're going to go and kind of predict / fantasy cast who we would put as, not for everybody, just for the ones we find interesting.
Yeah.
We don't need to go through 20. That's who gives a shit.
And now, are they doing this with all 4 acting or just the lead?
I think they're doing it all 4 acting.
They're doing all 4. Okay, so we got to come up with supporting ones too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I have one for each is how I did it.
Okay, you just picked one for each
Yeah.
category. Okay, you didn't do everyone. All
No,
right,
no.
all right. Yeah.
I just thought what would be a fun one, because there's one specifically I thought of where I was like, well, that's perfect. If they don't do that, I'm going to
Cool.
be angry. So,
All
right.
And if people don't know, if you're not following exactly what we're talking about, you didn't see last year's thing, an example would be, because this probably would have been a great one had the years worked out differently. But for instance, Timothée Chalamet is nominated for lead actor, and if he were to win, he'd be the youngest to win.
Yes.
So a good example of someone to have present him would have been the youngest actor of all time, Adrian Brody. That would have been a great example.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, Adrian Brody is also nominated this year, so they're not going to
Can't do that.
No, but that would be an example of what
100% what I'm talking about.
And some of them are just random. Like, I mean, there were some last year that didn't really have a connection.
And some are just like, hey, Nicolas Cage is here and willing to talk. Let's get Nicolas Cage talking.
And they have last year's winner as one of them.
Yes, 100%.
Right. So Downey Jr. will be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I figure if we just do one, it'd be fun. But to start, which is the random one, which is the winner from last year, it gets, at some point, we're just, Sundance was this week. I'm going to wait till next month to really talk about that, though, because we have more stuff. This is about, I think today should be about the nominations.
Yeah, this is a very Oscar-heavy episode.
Sundance, awesome. Love what you're doing. It sounds like the structure of Sundance this year was pretty shitty, but... And the app that everybody uses schedule has been a nightmare from what it looks like. But hey, that's a conversation for next month.
We got to call Robbie Redford and get this sorted out here.
Well, you know what? He's threatening to move it, so this might be part of it.
Oh, boy.
All right. So Criterion. Criterion announced their April 2025 releases.
All right. And I think I saw this, but I might not have. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If I did, it's been a while ago and I forgot. So
that's a beautiful thing. All right. Well, the first one is Anora.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. All right.
If you haven't seen the rest, you saw this one because people were like, but then
this got people.
This got people all riled up. But like last year, Anatomy of a Fall was
the Palme d'Or winner's always in there.
So and that was all the people complaining about it. Everybody was like, shut up.
I shouldn't say always, but usually they try to get or at least there has. I think Titane probably wasn't.
Titane wasn't, but I think
Parasite was, and
it goes back, so it's not abnormal. Next was Prince of Broadway, which is a Sean Baker. I guess it was his first one. I don't know about this. Next one, it's a 2-film release by Claude Berry called Jean de Florette and Manor of the Spring. I'm sure you're familiar with both of these.
Oh, they're a 7 and 8 on the IMDb 250, right?
Obviously,
yes,
obviously.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Next is Basquiat by Julian Schnabel. It's about an artist. It's in the early...
Basquiat.
How do I say it?
Basquiat.
Thank you. See, this is why we need producer Chris. Thank God. Do you know the movie?
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Okay.
It's about Jean-Michel Basquiat. He was a famous street artist that became a fine artist.
Yeah, and then they made... It's like a biopic about him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I forgot Chris knows his graffiti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also, the day they announced this, Cinema Arts Center, local, also said that they are going to be playing that in like 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Bowie plays Warhol.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. All right. So then a couple 4K releases. Ugetsu by Kanji Mizuguchi.
Sure.
Chungking Express by Wong Kar-wai, which I will absolutely be buying because our Wong Kar-wai ranking is coming out this Friday, and I am high on that movie. And then Some Like It Hot by Billy Wilder.
Yes. Yeah. And now that already had one, and this is a
the
4K re-release.
Yeah, Ugetsu, Chungking, and Some Like It Hot are 4K.
Very nice.
So April is a pretty good release. Covers everything, good stuff, good 4Ks.
Yeah.
All right. Future movie news.
Future movie news. All right.
This one's real short.
Yeah, this is we're in Dumpuary month here.
100%.
So, right.
So this is just
or I should say that should be about what's coming up next month.
right.
But yeah, this is
they're
still
not
light
making a big
on
deal. They're not making a big deal because they want to save things for who wins and then really make a big announcement about those sort of things. So, but Christopher Nolan's next movie, it's going to be The Odyssey. Could be a trilogy depending on how they tell the story, apparently.
Lord.
But they're building sets. It's going to be big.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I'm sure the cast will be star-studded too.
It's huge.
Yeah.
They every couple days they add someone new. It's very big. So that's going to be good. A Ghostbusters animated movie in the works at Netflix, because why not?
Will that be in the spirit of the animated show?
I hope so, because the animated show is awesome, but it's
Yeah, I
probably
mean, I
going to...
grew up on that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's where I'm optimistic about it.
The Real Ghostbusters
Yes.
was the show.
It was great.
Some terrifying episodes of that, by the way.
You know,
It kept me up at night.
That's what I've heard. And Grant recently said that too. And so I've been meaning to go back to watch it.
There were some that gave me some heavy-duty nightmares. The Boogeyman, in particular, was a very scary character. But yeah.
There's an Anaconda reboot for some reason with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. I don't think we need an Anaconda reboot. We could just watch Anaconda.
Yeah. I mean, they're just going to do this stuff. So
I know. And I'm going to get annoyed about it.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
I'll save my shouting at clouds for other topics.
Yeah, that just drives me nuts. And last, finally, in 2025, some point, they are releasing The Toxic Avenger unrated.
Okay. So they're re-releasing the old one?
No, they're releasing the one they made.
Okay.
So they made it like a year ago with Elijah Wood, with what's his name? Peter from, he's like Game of Thrones, an elf.
Oh, Peter Dinklage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's in it. So, yeah, they made it. I'm actually looking forward to
I don't
that.
think Peter Dinklage is an elf in Game of Thrones, by the way.
He's an elf, and he's in Game of Thrones.
I don't...
The movie
Oh, he's
Elf.
in Elf.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said he's an elf in Game of Thrones.
I've
I'm like,
never
I don't think
seen
he's an elf in Game of Thrones. I think he's just a guy.
I don't know what he was in Game of Thrones, but
Yeah.
I know he's
not a Game of Throner. Yeah.
That's one of the three things I know about Games of Thrones. So, all right. It's everybody's favorite part. Producer
Wait,
Chris,
so why was it not released initially?
They've just distribution problems, rating problems.
Oh, boy.
Toxic Avenger. I mean, the original Toxic
It's
Avenger.
trauma, right?
Yeah, it's trauma. I mean, there's literally a thing where a kid in his car has little things, and as he hits people, he crosses off and like checks. He's like running over children. So it's a dark movie. So I assume they upped it all and had some distribution problems, but it's finally coming.
Well, I think this is a good spot to hijack the show.
Oh, all right.
And over on Worst Picture Cast, you guys have covered some trauma movies,
We have.
right? And that's not one you've covered, Toxic Avenger.
No, we were, and part of that was we were kind of waiting for this to come out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. So it's gone. Worst Picture Cast is in a little bit of a hibernation period here,
yeah.
but there's plans, future plans coming up. So I figured to celebrate our 5 years as a podcast, I would get you guys each little kind of WPC related gifts here.
That's amazing.
Unfortunately, I was hoping to have them by our Wings episode. Unfortunately, your gift and Grant's gift has not come in yet, but I did get one for producer Chris.
Oh, man.
And that one did come in. So
Yes.
I got it right here. Hold on.
Love gifts.
We have here a VHS
Oh, my God.
of Chopping Mall.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
awesome.
There it is. And this
Nice.
is not just case art. There is an actual VHS tape in here.
Oh, man.
Yes, be kind, rewind.
Does it come with a VHS player? Because that is one thing I don't have.
We'll discuss that in Kieran's Corner because I have a lot to say about
man,
that.
that's
But
awesome.
yeah,
Thank you.
No, very good. So here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Producer
I mean,
Chris.
that's
so just
amazing.
show it up for the audience there. If you can check that out.
What a
little
cool box.
case art. Yeah, there you go. So,
Well, thank you very much, Kieran. I appreciate it.
Of course, and I won't say what's coming
Please,
for
I don't
you
wanna know.
or Grant, but you will both be having Worst Picture Cast related presents as well. I didn't get anything for Artie because Artie got cold this year.
He can't watch that. He can't watch a VHS on his cell phone.
Artie gets to be invited to the podcast. That's what he gets.
That's his gift.
Is there an adapter for my phone for this? All right. It's everybody's favorite part of the pod. It is some questions. Producer Chris, please hop in as whenever. All right.
Some questions. All right, and it's Oscar season. Some questions here, so the pressure is on.
All right. First,
and I'll just, in case anyone's getting snickery at home, the laptop is closed here, so there's no. This is all you can see. It. This is the first time I'm doing this on video, I believe. So
yeah.
This is a lot of pressure. You can really see me squirm under the lights.
I'm starting kind of obnoxious. When was the last time that there was an Oscars without an actor turned director movie nominated for Best Picture? So a movie where the director of it was an actor turned director.
Okay, the last year that didn't happen.
Yes.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So we've recently had a few. Brady Corbett would be this year's example.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Branagh was there with Belfast. I guess Tarantino counts as an actor turned director.
He's not on my list, but probably.
For 2019.
Sure.
So I think we're going back to at least 2020 to at least 2018 then. Because I'm just going through the 2020s.
A few moments later.
Who would have been the actor turned director that year? That's the Nomadland year. Okay. 2018. How about 2018 you're not going to do because that's Star is Born. So it's obviously not that year. 2017 is the I will go with 2017.
2013.
Wow, it's been that long. Yeah.
I mean, there's Bradley Cooper, Greta Gerwig, there's Field, Polly, Hader,
I
Branagh,
forgot Greta Gerwig
Emerald
was
Fennell, Jordan Peele, Washington Gibson, McCarthy, and Eastwood. So we go all the way back to 2013.
Eastwood and
he's a lot of like small. He's like, you forgot Greta Gerwig just from
Yeah, I to be honest, I didn't even know she was an actress. So, yeah.
Oh, Frances Ha is great.
Yeah. So that 2017 year.
I mean, I don't have the.
You don't have it in
down,
front of you, so I'll have to look that up later. But
yeah.
Okay. Wow. So it goes down. So there's been a lot of movie. That's good stuff.
I
like
love that
yeah.
actually. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. There's one that should have been in this year in Jesse Eisenberg, but unfortunately
he did not make
work
it. Unfortunately,
out.
Fucking, they all forgot about A Real Pain for Brazil. Who were the most watched actor and actress on Letterboxd in 2024?
Most watched.
Mm-hmm. So last year, do you remember who it was?
I remember guessing Chris Pratt, and then that wasn't right?
No.
Who was it last year?
It was Jason Schwartzman and Margot Robbie.
Oh, right. That annoyed me. The Schwartzman one, not the Margot.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, so this year, so we got, okay. I got to think about the big blockbusters here. And animated doesn't count, right?
I think it does. I think it's anything logged.
Right. Boy. So I got to pick actor and actress here.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. How about for actress? We'll go Ariana Grande. Why not?
Oh, that's a good one. No, not Ariana Grande.
Is there someone from that movie who
no.
is the okay? All right, so I'm getting.
Think about who's in more than one.
Yeah.
Demi Moore?
No. I mean, I wish.
Okay. I mean, I'll have to just do my yearly guess of Paul Rudd. No, because he's just tends to be in a lot of these. Okay, Deadpool, Wolverine. I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
Zendaya and Willem Dafoe.
You're just trolling me here today. Willem Dafoe. What else was he in other than Nosferatu?
Beetlejuice.
Oh, he is in that. That's right.
He's in Saturday Night.
Yeah,
He's in
all right, that'll
he's
do
in
it.
Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah, well, no one saw that.
Poor
You
Things
joke.
last year. I mean, he's having a moment for sure.
Yeah, he's just been in things forever, so people are always pulling it. And Zendaya is,
Yeah, right, we know.
between Dune 2 and Challengers.
Yeah, whatever.
She's very good in Challengers.
Chalamet would have been a good bad guess, or no, it would have been a good wrong guess.
Yes,
because you have the Dune and the Bob
if
Dylan stuff.
Complete Unknown came out earlier, probably,
Maybe,
but since it came out on Christmas, it was
I probably should have guessed that.
that would have been a really good guess. Defoe, I thought, was the one who was impossible. All right, this question I tried for like 3 days to word right, so if I don't get it, we'll get there. Before Conclave, what was the last adapted screenplay to win Best Screenplay at the Globes and then win at the Oscars?
To win the Globe and win the Oscar.
Adapted screenplay.
Jeez. The way you're wording it, it's making it sound like it hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, again, this is a word. That's why I prefaced it that this was a wording problem. I couldn't get this together. I'm not trying to trick you. Sometimes the wording is meant to fuck with you. This is not that.
Okay. Was it a Best Picture winner?
Nominee.
But not a winner.
No.
How about A Star Is Born?
No. 2015, Steve Jobs, and then before that was Social Network.
Okay. But that's a long time. Social Network, I guess, was gettable, but Steve Jobs, come on.
Yeah, that's
a forgettable movie. I love Danny Boyle, but come on.
All right, this is a fun one. How many films were eligible to be nominated for Best Picture?
Both Sorkin, by the way. Both of those Sorkin movies.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, they're kissing his ass, right?
Right.
Anyway,
how many films were eligible to win? How many films were eligible for Best Picture this year to be nominated?
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go off of how many usually are.
Smart.
Which I don't know. But I've seen like the list in front of me before, not numbered, but I'll say 120.
207.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So big numbers.
Yeah.
All right.
Juror number 2 probably wasn't one of them.
It was eligible, just nobody campaigned for it or did anything for it, unfortunately. All right. Amelia Perez somehow sets a record for non-English film nominated at the Oscars at 13. What was the previous holder? Ooh. And I'll say it was a tie. So
okay, yeah, no, I think I know it. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, and then and that tied something.
So that was first, and then something tied it.
Oh, all right, so it tied it after the
fact.
Well, about Parasite.
Roma.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten Roma. My other guess would have been Pan's Labyrinth, but that didn't get a picture nom.
That didn't get enough.
Okay.
And they were at 10.
Yeah. Oh, at 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh. Yeah, there's been a lot of the internet's been teasing Amelia Perez a bit today. It's been people are just scratching their heads at the 13 nomination. I haven't seen it yet, so that's not. I'm not giving anything away for our Oscars episode. You'll get all my.
Unfortunately, I've given it away.
That.
I can't help it. I try my best, and we just did an episode on 1001 by 1 by 3. So go check that out and give a lot of thoughts. All right. How many ghost faces have been nominated for acting Oscars?
Cool. Great question. Wow. All right. I'm going to get this one.
Yeah. No, you are. I was very proud of this one. I was like, oh, this one's going to go over well.
Yeah.
Joey, can you elaborate on that question? What do you mean by that?
How many killers from Scream have also been nominated for an Oscar?
The actors that played?
Yes. So,
I see.
So throughout the time, there's been 10 of them, whatever. How many have been nominated for an acting Oscar?
Okay. All right. Just want to be clarified for the audience and myself.
All right. Because I don't think Oliphant was up for an Oscar. So, 3. See, watch one of them be up for writing or something like that.
No, I'm going acting.
Oh, it is for acting.
This is. I'm only asking about acting or supporting.
Okay.
But not somebody did lighting or something.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lock it in. And I haven't seen the latest Scream, so I'm locking in with an element of risk here.
Okay.
With 2. Kieran Culkin and Laurie Metcalf
It's 3.
from Scream 2.
Kieran Culkin. No, sorry, it's 2. That's the wrong Culkin.
Kieran Culkin, I said.
Yeah, no, wrong Culkin. That's Rory Culkin in that.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's still 2 though. You're right on the number.
Oh,
Laurie Metcalf's
okay.
right.
Well, okay, I get the stat keepers. I got it right. Okay.
Yeah, the number's right.
Oh, that's Rory Culkin
That's
in
Rory
that.
Culkin. Who is the other one?
Well, it's probably the asshole in the third one, right?
No.
Because I don't know who that is. No, he didn't like. He was in
No,
some-
Rome or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Tell me.
Mikey Madison.
Right. I didn't know. What is she in Scream?
She's in the
5
reboot one, whatever that was. 5. Yeah.
5. Right.
Yeah.
The one I didn't like. Right.
Yeah.
The one with Ortega in the beginning.
Yep.
Okay. You see, I didn't even realize she was in that.
Yep. She was
cool.
Ghostface in that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I sort of got that right.
Yeah,
I got
you
the
got the
Culkin-
numbers right.
I got the years.
You got
too.
the family right and the years.
I got
so
the
that's
hard
fine.
one. Yeah. Okay. Mikey Madison is in that. Yeah. She's terrible in that.
She's good in that.
She's great in Nora. She's not good.
She's good in
in that Scream.
All right. All of the directing noms this year for the Oscars are first-time nominees. When was the last time this happened?
That all the director noms were the first time
the
nominees.
5. None of them had a previous nomination.
When's the last time that happened? How about 2020? No, it's way back.
It's back.
Okay, I was thinking maybe the Chloe Zhao year. I'm forgetting one of those. I guess someone in there I'm missing on. How about no, it wouldn't be. Early 90s?
97.
Okay, 97. Right. The Cameron year.
Yep.
Yeah, Zant, Cameron. Yep. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, the when was the last times are hard. Yeah,
They're impossible unless you have.
I got to go through all the nominees in my head here, going in reverse. Yeah.
Those are fun for me.
Right. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it feels like most of these are fun for you.
They're all fun for me. I'll like think of a really good one. Be like, oh, Kristen, and she's like.
Fortunately, I have my Catskills Ball Lightning Pilsner to keep me company here through this because I knew Oscar season was going to be tough here.
Yeah. All right. This one's fun. All 5 Best Lead Actress nominees are from movies that are also nominated for Best Picture. When was the last time this happened?
The last time this happened. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. I don't know.
47 years, the Annie Hall year.
The Annie Hall. It has been that long. That's. I think that's one of the reasons why people love the lead actress category so much online, because it's a lot of movies that are not up for picture.
It's
so
always its own
It's deep
thing.
track movies. Yeah.
So yeah, I was pretty blown away by that. It's a long time.
Yeah. It's mid 70s.
Yeah, and I mean, and that was a 5 years. So I mean, the fact that it hasn't happened since Back to the 10 is pretty nuts.
Yeah, I was like going through the 90s in my head, and I'm like, definitely not anywhere in the 90s. The 90s have some bizarre nominees.
Well, the 90s is like the furthest away from it. Like the 90s are just nothing some years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, but yeah, all right. This is different. In the last 50 years, so not all of the Oscars, in the last 50 years, how many years have more than one musical been nominated for Best Picture?
How many times has that happened?
Yes,
in the history of the Oscars?
In the last 50 years.
Oh, in the last 50 years.
pre-
Because
that
early on, there was
it was
probably
all the
a lot.
time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fun question at that point. So in the past 50 years. So since,
And we obviously have 2 this year with
Right.
with Amelia Perez and Wicked.
yes, that counts as one.
In the last 50 years. So what's my cutoff point? That's 70.
So 75.
Yeah, because the 60s had a bunch.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a ton of musicals in the 70s. I'll go as far as say that right
There
now.
is not.
Yeah. They weren't singing in the 70s. I bet you won.
It happened a second time.
It did? Okay.
Think about it. You know this answer.
Um,
This kind of felt like a layup a little bit after the last Annie Hall one.
Okay.
Felt like impossible. So I try to be nice sometimes. It doesn't work.
yeah. Oh, man. It's just going to kind of be like what's considered a musical, I think. What is it?
2018, Star is Born and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I don't really look at either of those as the type of musicals that we're talking about. But yeah, they technically are. They're diegenic musicals,
right.
though.
But still, they fit.
They're performing on stage for
right.
rock band.
Exactly.
It counts. It counts. But
it's a stretch.
My mind was in a different place. I just was locked into La La Land and was not getting past that.
Right. All right.
Like, was there singing in The Revenant? Was there?
The bear. All right.
Different year, I know. Reverend's 16.
With Amelia Perez and I'm Still Here Best Picture noms, this is the 7th year in a row that a non-English language film has been up for the top award.
Mm-hmm. And I think that will continue. I think that's a trend they want to keep, which is great.
It's
great. Yeah,
it's great. Now, so this is 7 years.
Yeah.
In the first 90 years of the awards, how many non-English films were nominated?
In the first how many years?
90 years. So from
Wings before that
till previous 7 years.
Well, the first one ever was Grand Illusion, and then I don't think there were many after that for quite a while. I can pull a couple off the top of my head. I know Il Postino in '95 was. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a lot.
No.
How about we go with 4?
It's a good guess. It's 9.
Okay. I was gonna say 5, but yeah.
But they're a little bit backloaded into like the 90s.
Yeah.
2000,
So I got 2. Do you have?
I don't have the list. I have it at home, but there's only so much I can do.
Yeah.
Sometimes my notes just get crazy, but yeah, only 9. So, and I think it's gonna, like you said, I think we're gonna see more 2 a year than none a year moving forward. At least for a while, the Academy's super foreign at this point.
Yes. Yeah. It'll continue.
Yeah.
But that's
It's great. I love it. I think it's covers everything, not just one thing, but it's also how we get stuck with Amelia Perez.
I don't. Amelia Perez, we got stuck with Amelia Perez because we got stuck with Amelia Perez. I don't think they were like, we need to get a foreign language film in here.
No,
because there's another foreign language film in there. So I think that just kind of fell on the Academy's lap.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right,
I haven't seen it yet, so I might.
Hey, you might love it.
Love it.
Hey, Tom loves it. How long will it take? So this year, the 10 nominations. How long will it take to watch every Best Picture nom, and where does that rank amongst other years? So I'm asked. So how long to watch all the movies, all 10 nominees, and then if you put all that every year, put how long for each, where would it rank?
How long would it take you to watch
every nominee, every Best Picture nominee? So the 10.
If you were to watch every nominee from the 20s to today, how long would it take you?
If you were
because for some of us, it would only take a couple days. But
right, yeah, to binge all. So say this year you haven't seen one nom. We're recording next week. How long would it take you to watch all the Best Picture noms from this year? And then ranking them versus other years. So like if each year...
So like what's the run time compared to the other years?
Yeah.
Every year that's ever been?
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, obviously you throw out all the 5 nominee years.
But what's this year first?
I mean, it's going to be long just on The Brutalist alone, and Wicked, and these are long. So it's 10 movies. I'd say they probably average out at least 2.5. So
the shortest is 2 hours at Conclave.
10. Another 5 hours, 25 hours?
24 hours and 45 minutes.
25 hours is my guess.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So 24 hours.
With the average being...
Yes,
right.
Perfect.
Yeah, the average with 30 hours would have been the average 3. So, so I was pretty close.
Yeah, and then where does this rank amongst other years?
I mean, since they've gone to the 10 nominees, there hasn't been a ton of these long movies. I mean, the longest movies were probably in the 60s and 70s, I would think.
The 5s.
But, and you can go back to 35 when there was like 14 nominees. So, but a lot of them were probably shorter. So I think this is top 5 longest.
Mm-hmm. It is number 1.
Number 1. Okay, yeah.
So 2022.
Totally makes sense. Yeah.
2022 was the previous holder, and that was 24 hours and 1 minute.
Okay, 22 was... What year was that? That was... Is that Power of the Dog?
Yeah, and Power of the Dog is still going on in my house. It's the longest movie that's ever been made.
Let me know if something ends up happening.
It has not.
Yeah, nothing's happened yet, no.
But that was also... So Power of the Dog, I
Is
love.
that right? Power Dog might have been 21 though.
No, that was 22 because it was the second one we did. It was the second year we did it.
You're right. You're right.
So, but that's also Drive My Car, which is excellent.
Oh, very long
But
movie.
very long.
movie. Yes.
So even though, what am I thinking? But so there was Belfast that year. There was also
Which isn't long.
Which isn't long. That's what I'm saying.
Coda's not long.
And the Nightmare Alley is also short. So even though there's 2 super long ones, there's 3.
Yeah.
He's like King Richard was a little bit longer than you think.
Yeah.
West Side Story was a little bit longer than you
Oh
think.
yeah. No, that was long.
So
that was long.
so yeah, that was number 1. But that's been overtaken
Yeah.
by 44 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
it's,
which
it's
makes
always
sense.
won by a lot. Yeah, and the earlier years when they had 10 plus nominees,
This
they were
movie's
shorter
like
films.
90 minutes.
Yeah,
so
short
like, who
films.
gives a shit? Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes
All right.
sense.
All right. So I have 2 more.
Oh, great. That's a wonderful foreboding stat of the work I have to do over the next couple of weeks. I've only seen half of them so far.
Yeah.
so.
You got some work. All right. How many presidents have been portrayed in a Best Actor nominated performance?
Wow. Okay. See, I like these more because I can kind of count them and see if I get them.
Well, these are much fairer questions.
We obviously have this year.
Yep.
We had Vice. Nixon's been done a million times. Truman has been done. All right. So we have this year. I said that movie Truman. Was it Truman or Wilson?
Truman.
Truman. Yeah. Okay. So it's 2. We've had Nixon. I'm sure.
Now, presidents can be in there more than once. How many
Yeah.
times?
How many times? Yeah. We're counting how many presidents.
Right.
I don't think anyone's ever been nominated playing Kennedy or Clinton. Obviously Lincoln. Do I want to lock in 4? All right, I'm going to say 5 presidents.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's Donald Trump, Lincoln twice, Richard Nixon twice, and Harry Truman.
Truman.
Yep.
Oh, we counted the...
Yeah, it's how many times. So even if they were over and over.
Oh,
yeah.
it wasn't... Okay, so only 3
Yeah,
have
so
been
3 separate
portrayed.
presidents.
All right, so
but-
Nixon was not...
No, Nixon had twice.
Oh, Nixon had twice.
Lincoln had twice.
Truman,
Trump and Truman.
Lincoln.
Yep.
Trump. So that's 4 presidents and 1 twice.
Yep. All right, last one. All 5 director nominees are also nominated for writing their films. How many times has this happened? So that's a great
the
stat.
Directors wrote their films, right?
And nominated for both. Not that it's not a director who wrote it who wasn't nominated.
They also
Nominated
were
for both. Yeah.
I'm going to say it's never happened before.
It's happened twice. This year in 2022.
In 2022, which was 2022 was that is that the Belfast?
That's the Belfast,
year. Yeah. And the winner was
I don't remember what the 2 winners were for the 2 screenplays, but it was probably, I assume, Belfast and
Coda.
And Coda.
Yeah, right.
yeah. So, all right. You said you had some question.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
So it is Oscar season, and
It is.
we know how much the Academy loves to represent one of our favorite genres here at Best Picture Cast, horror.
Of course.
And I know a lot of these questions have been done before, done to death. But our good friends over at Talking Horror had a nice little post, nice little trivia post. Brian from Talking Horror. You didn't see the post?
No.
Okay, great. So I'm going to credit them for this question. I thought it was a great question. I saw it today going into some questions. I'm like, all right, I got this for Joey here right now. So, as we mentioned, horror is usually egregiously misrepresented.
Sadly.
Yes. But 6 times the Academy chose to not just nominate, but award an acting win for a role in a horror film. 6 times in the history of the Oscars. What were the 6 people to win an Oscar in a horror film?
So Anthony Hopkins and
Anthony Hopkins is one. Yes.
the actress from that movie who's I'm drawing a fucking blank on.
It's Jodie Foster.
Jodie
Yes,
Foster.
okay, that is 2. So
That's
yes.
2. Whew. So 4 more. Kathy Bates?
Kathy Bates is another one, yes.
What about Rosemary's Baby?
Rosemary's Baby, yes. Okay, I don't expect you to come up with the name. With supporting actress Ruth Gordon,
Okay,
won for that.
okay.
So very good. So
right.
that's 4.
Exorcist.
Exorcist had nominations, but no wins.
okay.
Great guess. Great guess there.
Damn. I don't know. What do we got? Who's the recent one that I can't believe?
Okay, so we'll go with the 30s one. Frederick March, old friend from The Best Years of Our Life in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Damn it.
Yes.
That should have.
So, yeah.
That's a bunch.
he split the Oscar with Wallace Beery in The Champ that year. There was a tie that year.
It's
we love
amazing.
ties
That's
around
amazing.
here. And the other was Natalie Portman in Black Swan.
Oh.
Yes. So
right.
producer Chris is rolling his eyes, and I figured it would be. But it is. If you Google horror movies that have won or been nominated for Best Picture,
That's always in
Black
there.
Swan comes up.
Yeah,
It
all
does
right,
come
that's-
up. So yeah, there
all
we
right.
go. But a great question. Credit to Brian over at Talking Horror. Please check them out. Brian has been on our horror draft episodes
Yeah, he's
before.
great.
And does a great job. So
And he stayed awake for the whole time, which is fucking great.
Can you imagine?
Not everybody does that here.
No, it's one of the bigger challenges. Yeah.
All right. Awards chatter.
Awards chatter. Let's go. Here we go.
All right. So this is going to be Oscars heavy, but I like the BAFTAs. So I just wanted to point out a few things in the BAFTAs first. Like SAGs out there, DGA, you go look at those. But
The BAFTAs are unapologetically British.
Yes.
and you gotta respect.
I love it.
It's like it's like the Homer Award. You know,
Without-
we're picking our countrymen. We're not picking any beloved Americans. Spielberg kick rocks.
they've never nominated
Eastwood,
Denzel.
get out of here. Denzel, we don't
Never
want.
once.
Yeah, no,
Like-
it's kind of funny how that goes. So I appreciate that.
I actually love that about them because they're just like, no, fuck you. This isn't what we do.
We drink tea and come up with our own awards.
Yes,
so.
as I sit here and drink tea, I am in support. All right, so just I'm not going to go through everything, but best film they did Nora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez.
Yeah, and I actually was a little surprised that they went the complete unknown route
too.
because Bob Dylan is so American, you know. So
That's actually a question because The Complete Unknown has been the #1 movie in the UK the past 2 weeks. And there's that the Robbie Williams movie, which every British person on Twitter is yelling that, oh, nobody watches. It's made like I've made a movie that makes more money than that.
well,
fucking
I
thing.
mean, rewind the clock back to the '90s when nobody in America listened to Robbie Williams,
Right.
and everyone in England was like, "Why aren't you listening to Robbie Williams?" So
But
because
they're not listening to him. But Bob Dylan, who
this is
might,
why you have the BAFTAs,
Right.
British people.
I mean, but
I've
Bob,
always embraced the fact that I'm, 8% British, so I can make fun of them with a whole heart. So.
yeah, but like Bob Dylan is like up there with like the most American with like the Beach Boys, as I just feel like quintessentially American. Tom Petty.
Yeah. I mean, listen, maybe I'm gonna like this movie. You know my thoughts on little Timmy, but it seemed. I mean, my dad saw it and loved it. I mean, he loved it. He came home all excited about it and like not knowing that I hate Timothy Chalamet. He's like, you gotta see this thing. Like, oh boy. And did you see that Mad Dog Chris Russo? Mike from Mike and the Mad Dog has been like such a proponent of this that Timothy Chalamet personally invited him to the debut in London.
Really?
Of the show. He got to fly him and his daughter out there.
That's amazing.
He flew him out there
That's
and
cool.
personally, and he sat with them doing it too because I guess Chalamet's a big ESPN
huge guy.
sports
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
So he's on
Yeah.
The First Take with Stephen
Right.
Amell and
Mad Dog and Stephen A. were on Howard Stern, and he would not shut up about this movie. So,
So it's
I
I like that stuff. That
Yeah,
stuff's
that's
fun.
awesome.
And smart campaigning stuff too. So.
Well, a lot of smart campaign. Listen, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the movie exceeded my expectations. A Complete Unknown. I won't say more than that, but outstanding British film: Bird, Blitz, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Hard Truths, fucking amazing Hard Truths. Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Kneecap, a great movie.
Terrible that she got snubbed.
It's terrible. Lee sucks. Love Live Bleeding, amazing. The Outrun, which is good, and Wallace and Gromit,
That's
Foul.
an entire list of movies that I guessed right on to not see when they were out, so that I didn't have to. For like none of them got Oscar recognition, and I don't have to see any of them now, except
saw-
Hard Truths, which I appreciate.
Truth was so good. I saw all of these.
Yeah, I mean, like Blitz and Lee, like that's such a victory. I call that I call that a word that I can't think of. The Babylon bucket. I put them in the Babylon bucket. As I made
breaks
the
my heart.
bold choice to not watch Babylon just based on the runtime. Like I don't have 3 hours this week to occupy to that. I'm gonna just keep my fingers crossed that it's not up for an Oscar, and I'll scramble if it is. And it got shut out above the line, so that was the win. So Lee, Blitz, Babylon bucket. put him in there.
Yeah, well, Babylon's good though.
I was hoping Dune would end up in the Babylon
Yeah,
bucket.
me too.
And now I'm scrambling to find Dune. So.
Lee and Blitz were not. All right, it's time for Oscar nominations, and this year I did something that I don't love. I put out my predictions on to kind of hold myself accountable to what we do here. And I thought it would be. You
normally make fun of people for doing this.
You tease
them. Yes.
Yeah, Mercer. I'm pretty mean to him.
And now here you are.
I did call myself out before.
So you mean to yourself too.
Yeah, I made fun of myself beforehand that it's indulgent and ridiculous, and I acknowledge that.
Before you do, producer Chris, how many of the Best Picture nominees have you seen at this point?
Not many. I haven't started yet. I'm waiting for my wife to have some time to watch. We watched Conclave.
Nice.
Okay. You've seen Wicked.
Seen Wicked. But I think that might be it.
Yeah, you didn't see the Bob Dylan movie yet.
No, I'm waiting for all that.
Honora? No.
Honora. It's all on the agenda.
Okay. I'm exactly the halfway point. So I have 5 more to see.
Brutalist is the one I'm really excited about. That I know that's a theater watch. So I'm gonna have to make some time for that one.
Yeah. I've seen everything except I'm Still Here, which you can't see. So you can't see that yet, but I've seen everything else.
We'll track it down.
Now, let's just start with Best Picture and we'll go down because that's the way I wrote it. Best Picture nominees.
Now you're reading your predictions?
I'm gonna read what they are, then I'll say where the difference was. Now for context, Dune Part 2 stinks. So I did not purposely put that anywhere above the line because I have respect for what we do here.
And Joey also gets particularly annoyed at the idea of sequels and prequels and Part 1s and Part 2s getting nominated for Best Picture.
But at least Dune 2 tells a complete story within itself. It doesn't climax, then be like, haha, we'll see you in a year, suckers.
Ooh, Wicked shots, huh?
I liked Wicked enough.
But was that a Wicked shot?
Very much so.
My counter to that, and I guess we should save this for the Oscars, but is that I think the movie does exist within itself. I don't think...
Sure, it just ends at an unsatisfying point.
Well, it also ends where the show...
The intermission.
The intermission.
Right, so, which is 15 minutes.
But as someone who's never...
Cool.
As someone who's never seen the play and doesn't know the story at all, if that was the end, I'm satisfied.
I wasn't.
I don't need to know that the ginger guy's the Tin Man, or a spoiler alert. Ooh, it's spoiled for me.
I mean, they don't hide it. He's like, he just stands like a fucking Tin Man.
I need some oil in my hair here.
But
I think it makes a difference if you're I have seen the show and I was prepared for it to be ending.
I knew it ended at the intermission. So when it ended, Kristen's like, why would you end a story there? And I said, I don't fucking know.
Because it can't be a 6-hour movie. That's why.
Well, then, I'd rather that.
I mean, I guess that's a conversation we'll have when it comes to. But I'll just ask this question to producer Chris because he won't be there for the Oscars episode. If you could rewrite history, Chris, only in this one avenue, I don't want to get too scary with you. Would you have kept Kill Bill as it was released and as it was executed, or would you have preferred it to be one movie released in like a brutalist style?
I gotta preface this by saying these are my least favorite Tarantino movies.
Might they have risen in your estimation?
I honestly think yes. I think if I saw it as one complete work, it might have made a difference.
Yeah, I think that property was hurt by splitting up.
Yeah, like I don't know if I ever recovered from the part 1.
So I'm on full board with Chris. Those are my. Yeah. I don't love those, and if it was one long thing with intermission, I think I could have lived in the world better.
I don't think that would work for something like Wicked, and we have to just throw out there that the foremost purpose of Wicked is the box office.
Sure, absolutely.
That movie is going to make bank, and they need to have 2 releases of that,
and it's fine.
And you can't have a 4.5-hour movie that kids are going to see.
No, it's fine.
It's also the crescendo of Defying Gravity. I can't explain to you how cataclysmic that is when you watch the actual show. And any Wicked, this was geared towards people that love the play, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it was building. That was the climax to people
Yeah.
that know the show.
Well,
you
it is
know?
the climax. You don't end on a climax. That's the problem. Nobody's ever told a story.
Speak for yourself, Joey.
The history of stories. Everybody's like, oh, let's finish at the climax. Make people wait a fucking year.
Don't you love Japanese wrestling? Isn't that the whole
Very
match
much.
climaxes? Right.
No, not Japanese. It's indie. All right, let's go. Best picture. Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. So I got 2 wrong here. I did not have Dune Part 2. I did not have I'm Still Here. I had A Real Pain and Sing Sing.
Which I think a lot of people had.
Yeah,
I think
so.
you were. Yeah, that was.
I was trying to be
those
very
two,
objective here for the most part. Yeah,
I guess Dune 2 probably wasn't a surprise for most people. I think it was a surprise for like you and I. I think we were kind of like convincing ourselves it wouldn't be
100%.
nominated. Nickel Boys is probably like a little bit of a. I saw a lot of lists that didn't have Nickel Boys on it. It seemed like some
it
people
came
were,
out late. It's small, and I think Nickel Boys is very divisive. I think people are very all in on it.
But I'm just saying, when I looked at projected lists,
Oh, really?
like Dune was on more than Nickel Boys.
Oh, I saw Nickel.
Like-
Everything. People were like, no, Nickel Boys is locked in. Dune's the.
Okay,
the back
all right,
end
yeah.
of
So
it.
I guess we saw some different feats. Yeah.
But again, I think it's just with the because I had September 5 as the 11th because I did an extra one. Like
And that
was
got
just-
shut out, right?
No, I got one. I got one of the writings.
Oh, okay. It made screenplays. Yeah, okay.
It's a very small movie. It's good though. So that's that. All right. So director, Sean Baker, Honora, Brady Corbet, The Brutalist, James Mangold, A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Coralie Farge for The Substance. I had Ramel Ross for Nickel Boys and Edward Berger for Conclave instead of Jacques Audiard.
Nickel Boys didn't get a director nom.
Somehow, no, it did not. But fucking Jacques Audiard did. And James Mangold, I had as my
Audiard is
Amelia
Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that got everything. So
Yeah, unfortunately. And then I had James Mangold Complete a Note as my 6th.
okay.
So, but yeah,
All right. So you had Nickel Boys in there, and you had what in there?
Conclave.
Yeah, Conclave was a surprise.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
so. I think that not getting director is a killer for it.
Yeah. So you had Amelia Perez out, and what's the other one you had out? That got in.
Oh,
that
Complete
out.
Unknown.
Complete Unknown.
That
But
was
you
my
had that
sixth.
as your
That was
sixth.
my
Okay.
6th,
Okay.
which it's fine. I like I'm that when I'm not. It's just I think Ramel Ross not in there stinks. That's from Nickel Boys. All right, Best Actress: Cynthia Erivo, Wicked; Carla Sofia Gascon, Amelia Perez; Mikey Madison, Honora; Demi Moore, The Substance; Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. My difference was I didn't have Fernanda Torres. I had the extremely deserving Marianne Jean Baptiste, who should have been there, but
Yeah, that hurts.
she was fantastic.
You know what? I kind of knew it was going to be her or Demi. I in my heart of hearts, I knew one of the two was.
Demi was locked in. She wasn't the iffy one there.
Okay, what I'm saying when I looked at it, she's the type of person that gets snubbed at the Oscars, though.
Yeah,
in
but she
that
was
role,
locked in
but it's a
there.
genre-y role, and it's an actress with a complicated filmography. Those are the people.
Sure.
Like if you look at Jennifer Lopez here.
Yeah.
You know, like those are the type of people that get
Yeah,
snubbed.
just the
So
way-
I just looked at that and went, and then I looked at Baptiste and we're like, the others have kind of a little more beef to their movies. So I felt those two were fighting for the same spot. And obviously, Demi Moore's movie was much more represented in the list
Yeah.
here, and Hard Truths got shut out. So
Yeah. I mean, I think the Erivo, Gascon, Maggie.
well,
and
Arrivo,
Moore
but there was
were
no
locked in.
world where Arrivo was not
The
nominated.
first 4 were all in there. I mean, Gascon was the one who's kind of a stretch, and then the 5th spot was the one that it was Fernanda Torres.
It's
Marianne
tough
Jean
to
Baptiste.
imagine her winning the. Well, I guess the Globes don't really matter at the end of the day. From I'm Still Here.
Oh no, she's not winning.
But she got nominated.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it would be tough to imagine her winning at the Globes and then not getting nominated.
Yeah,
but that does happen.
that
The Globes
happens all the time.
don't really matter, right? Yeah.
The Globes do whatever the Globes want to do, so I think that's fine. All right.
The Globes try to guess the Oscars. That's what they try to do.
Well, that's
It's
the
not-
problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why I like the BAFTAs, because they do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
So many of these stupid critics things are like, what are the Oscars going to do? It makes it all uninteresting. All right. Best Actor: Adrian Brody, The Brutalist; Timothée Chalamet, A Complete Unknown; Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing; Ralph Fiennes, Conclave; and Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice. So
This is your classic. There were 4 locked in and guaranteed, and what's the wild card 5th going to be?
Yeah, I got Sebastian Stan right. I got the wrong movie. I put him in for A Different Man. And then
You probably got the movie he should have been nominated for.
100%. Different Man is masterpiece. We'll talk about the other one at a different time. But Jesse Eisenberg, and I'm going to say I had Hugh Grant as in the wings with Jesse because Hugh Grant's
I was
fantastic.
hoping, but
There's no chance.
I love before his time here is done for him to get an Oscar recognition because he won me over in Paddington 2, and I mocked the people who thought that he should have been nominated for that, and publicly ate my words and said
You did.
It's a beautiful movie.
Well, you know what? He's gotten 2 Best Actor noms for Heretic, so I was pulling for Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
Jesse Eisenberg is just very good in that sense.
I thought he should have been nominated too.
Yeah.
He would have been my 5th.
Yeah, and I think that's appropriate, but I think it's a good 5. All right.
Or Nicholas Hoult in juror number 2. Just saying.
Nicholas Hoult in anything. He was great. What did I do here? Okay. Supporting actress. Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande, Wicked. Felicity Jones, The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini, Conclave. And Zoe Saldana, Amelia Perez. I got 4 right. I did not have Isabella Rossellini in there. Instead, I had Margaret Qualley from The Substance. All right. Best Supporting Actor. Yura Borisov, Honora. Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain. Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown. Guy Pearce, The Brutalist. Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice. Again, I got 4 right.
Strong was a surprise here.
Yeah.
But the others were pretty
locked in. They were easy.
Yeah.
The first 4 were easy. And then I had Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, who should be in the 5th one, and that's a bad job.
Yeah, there was a world where I had to see Yura to believe it.
Yeah.
Just because it's not a very Oscar-y performance. It's a great performance. And it's one like when I finished the movie, I'm like, that's an example of a guy who probably should be up for an Oscar but won't get one. Like that was my immediate takeaway, and I'm really happy that he got one
because it's deserved.
That's not the type of actor that gets nominated. It's a non-showy,
super subdued.
It's almost like a role in an action film. Like it's not like. Yeah, it's
subdued,
it's a different performance.
And because he's the guy who's always doing something, he has a great arc, but it's all super
that's the
subtle.
role in movies that gets overlooked.
Yes, because it's a true supporting role. It's supporting what's going on. It's pushing the storyline,
and it's a
behind.
typecasty type of role. The person who gets that role is typecast. Yeah,
100%.
So I like that nomination.
But the video of him, his wife recorded when he found out he was in a car with him and his kids, and it's amazing. They all go
I gotta
nuts.
see that.
I
gotta see that. That's cool.
It's awesome. Like just he's happy. Like he clearly appreciates it. Like because a lot of them feel so staged. And listen, if you want you should all want an Oscar. You should want to be appreciated for what you're doing. I'm not judging, but some feel staged. This was just like pure joy, and it was fucking awesome.
That's cool. And I'll just hijack really quick too.
Yeah,
so, the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame was just announced.
Yes.
And there's a much like that. There's a video of Billy Wagner, a left-handed pitcher, relief pitcher, getting the phone call that he's been selected for the Hall of Fame. And you get 10 years to get in, basically. You vote in, you need 75% of the voters to get in. And he got in on the 10th year. And he felt like 2 votes shy or 3 votes shy last year. And he gets the call, and he's there with his wife, and he just physically breaks down, crying. And just you think about the work it takes to make it there, just to get to be the Hall of Fame, to be the 1% of the history of baseball. And, there's so many of these, the snarky writers are the ones who vote. And there's so many like, hey, he just doesn't feel like a Hall of Famer. And they're just so happy to deprive these people of this moment. It's like, you see that and it's like
little power ruins them.
This guy has now the highest ERA in the Hall of Fame.
Wow, is that true?
Yeah, like he's the highest strikeout per innings rate. Like he's leads the Hall of Fame now in like 3 or 4 different categories.
That's
and you
crazy.
weren't going to vote him in. Stupid. Anyway, sorry. little hijack moment there. Yeah. Got to jam baseball in here somehow.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Former Brave Billy Wagner.
All right. Adapted screenplay. I know we don't do that in our episode, but whatever. I'm going to do the 2 screenplays.
Okay. We do original. We don't do adaptive. Yeah.
A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing, which I really like this. So I got 4 of them right. I put Wild Robot in over Amelia Perez because Wild Robot belongs in there over Amelia Perez, but whatever.
I don't love predictions in these things, but I have a prediction this year that I believe that Conclave will be shut out.
Okay.
I think I when credits rolled on that one, I was like, this feels like a movie that's
You
going
have
to be
been
up
saying
for
that.
10 awards and gets shut out. I think Nickel Boys wins that. I think it'll be like going into a Conclave will be the favorite for that category, and I think Nickel Boys will win that.
I agree. I think that's Nickel Boys. I think that's what they're taking it. All right. Original screenplay. Before we do this, I nailed this one. Got this one 100%.
Well, you got
right.
100%.
Yeah,
Okay.
very proud of that. Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance.
Okay, and September 5 would probably be the long shot connection. The first three are slam dunks,
Yeah.
and then I guess you bet big on The Substance here. There's a world where we talked about genre movies not getting it.
I was all in on The Substance here.
Would you count The Substance as horror?
Yeah, it's body horror. It's
Yeah, it's
satire.
in the mix.
So now like the real Oscar dorks are like, well, it's more satire. Like, shut up. It's a horror movie, but
Get my mute button out.
well, like shut the fuck up. Like you're exhausting. Are there any more? I mean, that's all I wrote my predictions. But is there any other ones you want to go through?
No, I think that's good. I think it did a good job there. Yeah, follow Joey at Joey.
0314. There's a lot of
0314.
I'm trying to be more like appropriately active, not just telling people they don't know what they're doing.
Just trolling people.
I haven't done that anymore.
He's merged his troll account into a professional account.
I'm trying to be a normal person. And one day soon, I actually decided, I don't know if I told you this, because I do like when I count movies I've seen, I do Oscars to Oscars. After this Oscars, I'm going to start rating movies on Letterboxd that when I log them.
I've been dabbling with this too. You know my thoughts on these.
I'm pretty open about it.
I don't like it. I just don't like the idea of me personally getting locked into giving movies star rating because my opinions change on movies.
me too.
And they don't change, but they grow.
Right.
So there's been plenty of times where I've hated a movie and then revisited a year later or at a different part of my life and then loved it. So it's like, this is a 2-star movie.
Right.
And I'm not faulting anyone for doing that. Letterboxd is a great fun community. And I may dabble myself, but maybe at least I'll put a real review in there or something. But
Yeah, so
I would like to get more active.
So what I'm doing with them is some of them I write a little review, good or bad, just like quick, like a few lines. And then when the new year starts after the Oscars, non-podcast movies, I think I'm going to engage with. I think that's the next step because I'm trying to be more consistent. I do it a lot more on Blue Sky where I give like reviews of the new movies I watch. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start carrying that over to Twitter too. But it's harder because you and Adam don't really talk about these things very purposely.
Yeah, we try to hold
Really
the
don't.
information
So
for
like,
ourselves. Yeah.
I don't want to be throwing all my stuff out there. So like, it's also a balancing act of trying, the integrity of the pod and not being.
I keep
for free.
my opinions pretty tight-lipped until the time. So there's a lot. I like to go right up until the moment. It's like, God, does he love Zone of Interest or does he hate it? I don't know. What's it going to be? I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, but to finish this category, as we teased in the beginning, for the acting categories, they bring 5 out. Each one gives an personal introduction. And the reason I thought about that we could do this was fun because I was like, oh my God, if Laura Dern doesn't announce Isabella Rossellini, they're missing an opportunity. They were in Blue Velvet together with David Lynch. They get to a memorial to him.
That feels like that will happen. I think. Because it's a recent winner too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty perfect. So I thought, that's where I thought about it from.
Right, so we'll start with supporting actress?
Yes.
And read the nominees again if you could.
Yeah. Okay, supporting actress. Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande, Wicked. Felicity Jones, The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini, Conclave. And Zoe Saldana, Emilia Perez.
All right, yeah. So I had a past winner in this one.
Well, they're all They all have to be a past winner.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't have last year's winner. I had a past. I picked a past winner, right?
Oh, okay.
And I went singer.
Okay.
We have Ariana Grande didn't come up through reality television, but she came up through Disney Channel, Nickelodeon worlds, and was
I saw her on TV when I walked in. His daughter was watching.
but gained really gained fame more for her music, yeah. And then came back into acting. Got the so I had Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good one. All right, for this one, I obviously have the Isabella Rossellini, Laura Dern. All right, let's go. Supporting actor: Yura Borisov, Kieran Culkin, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, Jeremy Strong.
Ooh, Okay. Why don't you go first here
All right.
on this one? Because I had a little trouble getting the actor to supporting actor crossover here.
This one was hard. I did an actor winner crossing over. I did Ke Kwan. His child actor came up, did it for Kieran Culkin. I was really trying to get someone for Edward Norton, but that just feels like they're going to give the most prestigious person they can to him. So I couldn't figure out. So I thought Ke Kwan for Kieran Culkin would be good. And he's just super fun. They just seem like their energies might match.
Wow. Okay. All right. So mine is my least. I'm going to pick my least favorite actor of the 5 that are up. Oh God, no, he's not. I guess he's my second to least favorite actor. I went with Sebastian Stan.
Not liking Sebastian Stan. No, we're doing supporting actor.
Supporting actor. Yeah. Oh God,
He's
Jesus,
lead.
screwed me up. Yeah. Yeah. And the problem here is that I wanted to maybe do Downey for him because of the Marvel connection, but Downey won lead. No.
They
So
can
that's
cross over.
it.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but Sebastian Stan is for lead.
Yeah.
That's why
we're doing
that
support.
doesn't
Yeah.
work. Right. So I'm going to comfortably pass on
Okay.
this one. Did you have a second one that you wanted to share? No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. I couldn't get. I couldn't. So I was
It's
gonna.
tough.
I was gonna maybe have. Maybe I'll see. I was looking at Christian Bale too coming over,
was a
but he
good
won
one.
supporting also. But yeah.
All right.
so
Well, now
go.
we'll do actor. Adrian Brody, Timothy Chalamet, Coleman Domingo, Ralph Fiennes, and Sebastian Stan. I went with Gary Oldman for Ralph Fiennes. I just felt like, that just works. I also thought that Richard Dreyfuss for Adrian Brody would be good. For Timothy Chalamet would be good because he was the youngest actor before Brody won.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I went Brody, and I went with the actor that many people feel that Brody snubbed the year that he won.
Okay.
And I went with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh,
Yeah.
if they can get him out
and
there,
a
that'd
very
be great.
PTA-like film
yes.
in The Brutalist. And
Clearly had some influence.
yeah, so I thought that would be a good
That's a good
little
one. All right. So last, Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, and Fernanda Torres. So I'll go first, give you a second. Julia Roberts for Mikey Madison. Different movie, but you could go back to Pretty Woman and make that connection for them.
So mine, it doesn't have a direct connection that I have ready to go, but it just kind of feels...
That was my Gary Oldman with Vines.
Yeah.
It just like fits.
It just feels right because Demi Moore is very 90s adjacent, and so I picked a winner from the 90s, and Jessica Lange. And Jessica Lange has dabbled in that genre
Yeah,
before
she's
with the American Horror Story, and that feels like a good.
It's always good to see
connection there.
Jessica Lange. Oh, that's great. This was cool. I just thought this was an extra thing.
I would imagine Michelle Yeoh will probably do Cynthia Erivo,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
same movie type of deal.
Yeah.
And last year's winner actress was
Emma Stone.
So who do we think that she's going to be announcing?
And realistically, she'll probably do Mikey Madison.
Norris.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
That's
it's a
it.
clean connection.
Who do we think that Downey Jr. is going to?
Sebastian Stan.
No, but Sebastian Stan is not lead. He's supporting.
No, but Sebastian Stan is lead. Jeremy Strong's
but
supporting.
but Downey won for supporting. He didn't win for lead.
You could cross over.
No, but he has to announce.
Oh, right,
the,
'cause he's
the
the one.
supporting
Oh,
because he
for-
won last year.
Right. Downey. So he'll do.
Read the nominees again.
He's going to, you know what? I bet you he does. So it's Borisov, Kieran Culkin, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, or Jeremy Strong. I could see him doing Jeremy Strong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking Succession too, but I was thinking maybe Culkin.
Maybe.
You have that 90. The quirky, get the two quirky guys together, maybe.
Yeah, I could see Jeremy Strong there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then who was
Lead
supporting-
actor last year was Cillian, and he may do Brody.
He's going to do Brody.
Yeah,
100%.
because that's the Irish show, the
Hats.
producer Chris, the Peaky Blinders connection. So that's going to happen.
That's it. And then who's the supporting actress last year?
Supporting actress last year
Was Randolph Joy.
Oh, yeah,
Joy
Divine Joy.
Randolph.
Divine Joy.
Zoe Saldana.
I could see her doing the Amelia Perez as
Yeah.
last year's winner. Do that one.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I could see that because it's just the favorite. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go into Kieran's Corner, it is Best Picture Cast Secret Santa review time.
That's right. If you listened to our that was the final on the feed
That
from
was our
last
last
year.
on the feed.
Yeah. If you listen to that, you'll have heard our presentation of each other giving out our Secret Santas.
And our decision, what we each chose to
We
make.
all watched them. We all discussed it. And we are going to go ahead and cut to that right now. So check out to see how this experience went. You get to hear RDB talk about Jean Dielman. Here we go. We welcome you in to the Best Picture Cast Secret Santa War Room.
Artie, what did you give to Grant?
Desperate Measures.
I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it. I do have some questions. Okay.
I don't know that I have
questions.
answers. It's been a while since I've
Well,
seen
that's
it.
the thing. My question is, when's the last time you think you've seen this movie?
Probably in theaters. Or like, I'm not even joking.
Grant texted me on the side. Do you think Artie has seen this since 1998?
No.
Okay. Now, did you give this movie to me just because you thought I was going to have fun with it, or because you thought it was like a really good movie?
Both.
Okay, it's not a good movie. Having said, I mean,
So
this movie is clearly closer to a Worst Picture Cast movie than Best Picture Cast movie. But dude, I had a ball with it. It's a
Isn't it
wild
fun?
ride. It's a lot of fun. So if you're looking for like a great it's a great Saturday afternoon watch. If you've got nothing to do, you got 2 hours you want to burn.
Throw it on Tubi.
Throw it on. It's a blast. I would love to do a Below Freezing's episode on it. That would be a lot of, because it does qualify.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Great.
All right.
So who did you gave to Chris? What did you give Chris?
I gave Chris the Nice Guys.
So I thought you picked it for me because I love The Big Lebowski and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, movies like that.
well, same director's
This
Kiss
is-
Kiss Bang Bang.
I mean, it's very, very similar.
Yeah, Shane Black,
It's
yeah.
the most similar than even The Lebowski, but it has a similar kind of bumbling, but somehow I don't know if it's lucky or
Competent.
they have a sixth sense, but bumbling characters that somehow figure out a mystery or a crime. I loved it. Jasmine and I both loved it.
Good,
We watched
good.
it together. It's right up my alley. A comedy noir is made for me.
takes place in the 70s.
Yeah,
yeah.
and those two guys have so much chemistry. Oddly enough,
It's
so much.
it works so well. Their
Yeah.
dynamic. I want another one. I want to see.
there's also
All right, that's the Nice Guys. All right, Chris, you had Kieran. Who did you give? What did you give Kieran?
I gave Kieran a movie that I'm so psyched for him to have seen. I don't know what he's going to think of it, but in a lot of ways, I
boy.
think he is the character.
Oh my god!
That's what you think of me, huh?
Walking around with a snow globe.
I picked Falling Down. Michael Douglas, Falling Down.
Yes, Falling Down, directed by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
So the other option you gave me was
Once.
Once. Okay. I think I wish I picked Once. and that's not because I didn't enjoy Falling Down. This is a super different movie. There's a weird energy in it.
Totally.
I think there's a lot of good in here. There's a lot of interesting things in here. There's a lot of little nuggets in here. I do think there's a lot of problems as far as
Totally.
I think the wrong person directed this movie. It's dated in a lot of weird ways. It's very much a Bruckheimer movie in visual, but the content really isn't. The content's more of like a Tarantino or a Spike Lee movie.
It makes you,
know?
feel really uneasy the entire time, right? It has that-
Again, entertaining enough movie. It's Jerry Bruckheimer is a funny guy to have direct the wrong movie. Because it is so clearly a Jerry Bruckheimer movie.
who do you think could have done it justice? Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, because I don't know that a Tarantino is perfect for this either. I mean, I think a
More of that
Tony Scott.
Yeah, I feel like
Tony Scott would be great.
Yeah, Tony
Michael
Scott would be
Mann
the
too.
one.
I think Michael Mann.
Michael Mann, he tends to.
Michael Mann, maybe he might overdo it.
Yeah, he does. He
That's true.
He doesn't
He
do the
lacks-
heady things really.
Yeah, it's true.
and he lacks a touch.
De Palma.
Yeah.
Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn. Kieran,
Yes.
what'd you give me?
Oh boy. Now I'm in the hot seat, Chris. I gave you a selection between two of Clint Eastwood's earliest directorial films. You selected High Plains Drifter. The alternative was Play Misty for Me. So I gave you a Western. I know you're not keen on the Western genre, so I kind of threw this in there knowing that there was some risk I explained to you there's some, problematic scenes in the very beginning part of this thing that can set the viewer in the wrong direction. So that could be part of it too. But Joey, how was your experience
Get him,
watching
Joey.
High Plains Drifter?
So I went in open porn on it.
Okay.
It has some things that I really like. I think the town is awesome looking. Like, I would go there. I thought Eastwood was great acting wise. I really liked what he did here. I think my problem with it, I think it's a cool story that they oversimplified telling it. I just wish they added a little bit more depth to it, and I think it could have been really good.
Okay, all right, that's a little better than I thought I was going to get today. It's the earliest form of him deconstructing the Western.
Sure.
So you can see he's feeling his way out a little bit. The script actually had like a little more of a supernatural storyline to it.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm glad he pulled that out
They
then.
took that out and made it a little grayer as far as like what his relations were to the former sheriff. So
They liked what he did.
and for someone who doesn't really like Westerns, you were entertained enough.
Yes, I had fun with it.
Okay, cool.
I had fun with it.
Great.
Because I gave Artie Gene Dealman. How much of it did you actually watch?
Oh, Joey, I watched the whole thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
I just want to know what you think of me as a person that you would recommend this movie to me. And I have a follow-up question. What's wrong with you? You saw this. Has anyone seen this movie?
I haven't,
I
but
have
now
not.
I'm really
I
interested.
will say I also first watched this for today's recording.
All right. This movie is 3 hours and 18 minutes long.
You're mean, dude.
I want, I was figuring
This
out
was
of
a
comfort
particular.
zone.
This was a particularly cruel recommend.
There are maybe 30 lines of dialogue. I'm going to give you 3 examples of scenes that are in this movie.
Okay.
1, a woman makes meatloaf from scratch
Shut up.
with no cuts. It's about 7 minutes long. And you just watch her make meatloaf, preheat the oven.
Twice.
Then she washes the dishes for 5 to 6 minutes alone
Oh, God.
with her back to the camera. Then she gets herself ready for bed by brushing her teeth. This all happens 3 or 4 times. I lost track of the days. It's like 3 days. It's
Yeah,
just
3 days.
And all of the time, one thing she does throughout the course of the day is she's a whore. And a man will come over every day of the
She's a
week.
prostitute.
She's a sex
She's a
worker.
prostitute.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no problem.
She's a prostitute. And once a day, every day, a different man comes over and ravages her and then leaves. And that's just part of the movie. And then at the end, in the last 7 minutes of this gigantic movie, something sort of interesting happens. But by then, you're so fatigued, you can't even appreciate it.
The last 4 minutes, just like
There's about 8 seconds of something, and then they follow it up with 4 to 6 minutes of her sitting and
Silently.
staring off into the distance.
did you think?
Artie is not exagerating
No.
at all. Like he is.
Oh, no, this
he
is
is
all-
not. He's not exaggerating at all. And by the way, in that dishwashing scene, she washed one of those dishes twice. I watched her do it. She picked up the same dish she already washed. She washed it twice. All right,
It's
sorry.
slow cinema. It's just watching.
What is that? What you're saying that like that's a thing that anybody but you knows about?
This
Like,
shouldn't be allowed. Nothing happens. This is a criminal theft of human time. I mean, that's pretty a rung of hell.
Artie did
Good
his
job, Artie. Way to be a trooper.
Oh, man. Maybe you shouldn't watch Gene Dealman on your phone in a car.
Well, I mean, I don't think you should watch Gene Dealman anywhere at any time. You guys, I get crap for liking Dr. Zhivago, and like you guys are obsessed with Gene Dealman.
I really like
Jesus.
it. It's really good. There's a hypnoticness to it about the subtle changes and then the eventual explosion.
I mean, there was a hypnosis for sure, but the hypnosis resulted in me falling asleep. It's what it did, and I'm not like it helped me get to sleep. It was like popping a melatonin before bed.
That's nothing.
I said I would in the episode. I said I would
Oh, you did?
re-listen. I did re-listen.
Oh, wow.
And listen, I fully respect your opinion on movies, Joey. I fully respect Britt's opinion on movies. I fully respect Adam's opinion on movies. And not only that, I am always entertained by listening to you guys discuss these films. And I certainly was entertained this time too. I just can't believe that the three of you are that positive on this. But I just can't. It's like I think Adam said like riveted was a word he used, and I'm like, because she dropped the shoe, while she was polishing it.
When she buttoned the button wrong, I like reacted out loud. The little differences and what it all led to. I was in, and I remember it's. I mean, at this point, I've done like 160 podcasts, and I think this was time 2 where I was like, oh, this is going to be weird being the only one who likes this, and I loved being wrong.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I like that you guys liked it, and that other people out there enjoy it. A bunch of other critics like it, but I would be stunned in 8 years if this is in the top 10 on Sight and Sound. I feel like that seemed like
it's always been up
thing.
there. It jumped. The fact that it like this was
went
so
for
impossible to find.
It went from like 42 to
It was
top
like
10.
22.
Maybe it was 22.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was up
22.
there.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we spent enough time.
That's why we do
this.
it. But all right.
Yep.
All right. Kieran's Corner.
Kieran's Corner. Yeah. I just teased this a little bit early on. We said gave out the Chopping Mall. I got my VCR set up.
It's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
You're getting a lot of eye rolls about this around the household and about.
I
but
support you.
I have my VCR set up with we have this big like 85-inch screen and sound bar and everything. So it's like a little mini theater setup, and the VCR creates this real cool viewing experience because it's this grainy. It's almost like an old drive-through.
That's awesome. Does it fit the screen?
Yeah. Oh, it fits the screen perfect. The only thing that can get a little wonky is the sound, because I guess, most of these VHS tapes are decades upon
Right.
decades old, And so there can be some inconsistency in the quality of what you're getting. The good news is that usually they cost about $1.50 to get.
So it's worth it.
You can go to any thrift store and pick up a couple, and I have, there's been a couple I've maybe spent $10 on too if I just wanted a specific thing, and
But they look
get it on
awesome
eBay
in
because
a
they got to
collection.
ship it. And,
Right.
Yeah.
But they look great in a collection. They look great on a shelf.
Yes, I'm not getting anything I can't use as for show, and just being real select about what I get with it. So it's fun. It's another little form of it's a real niche of physical media, which is so ironic because I grew up on VHS tapes.
Right.
So I think that's probably why I have a little bit of nostalgia
awesome.
sentimentality to it.
It's very cool.
And who knows, maybe they'll hit it big like vinyl did a decade or a few decades ago. But yeah, so that's fun. And I'm GM. We're gonna edit this after I'm done.
It's a big turnaround.
Get it out. We're on Captivate FM now. This will be our first official release on Captivate. Excited about that. And then I'll be getting on a plane to go to Puerto Rico for the week. I'm on
going for a full
vacation
week?
mode. 5 days.
Nice. That's great.
Where are you going exactly?
San Juan.
I love San Juan.
San Juan, yeah.
Old San Juan,
Yeah,
baby.
it's great. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we'll be staying in regular San Juan, but we will be visiting old San Juan too. They have the first ever pina colada. was
Absolutely.
made in
Yep.
old San Juan.
I
So
have
good.
been to that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So looking forward to just the beach vibe, the sun, the forecast is looking good.
Nice.
Deserve a little getaway. So me and Tiffany are headed out there. I think it's an 8 a.m. flight, so we're getting picked up for the airport at 5 a.m. It's just going to be an edit into
amazing.
basically a nap.
I hope you
into
packed.
head to the airport. I probably packed earlier than I ever have for any trip before. I'm a last minute packer, and I'm also a scramble and stuff packer. Just overpack by chaos. But just
That
stuff
tracks.
all that stuff. in
Everything
there.
I know about you, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and every time you do that, you end up with most things you have way too much of,
Yep.
and you'll always forget one thing.
That's
you'll
very
be like,
important.
I have 11 t-shirts, 8 pairs of jeans, 9 boxers, and no pairs of socks.
Yeah.
Or
And only boots.
yeah. So no, I'm all packed and ready to go. I'm knock on wood, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm eyeing Amelia Perez as a plane watch. So I got about a 4-hour flight. So that I think feels right for a plane. It's like designated time to watch. But I always, when I go on these things, I got my iPad and I'll go on my streamers and I'll download.
Yeah.
I'll download like 12 movies. So I have like a nice option in case something I usually fly JetBlue. Something doesn't speak to me on the screen. I have my own screen to do. Sometimes I just want to watch like an old movie from the 40s or something, a little black and white. I think one of my last trips on the way back, I watched To Kill a Mockingbird.
That's great.
It's like a laid back plane watch. I'm just watching Gregory Peck do his thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But so that's my routine there. So looking forward to that getting away. But
Nice.
that's all I got for Kieran's Corner, other than having to cram in these Oscar movies over the next months we do our Oscar.
Yeah, I'm so happy I'm ahead. It's just freaking, I'm still here. Threw me for a loop. All right. Upcoming releases, February, it's Paddington in Peru and The Monkey, the new Osgood Perkins movie, which Stephen King is raving about, which is very exciting.
I will be watching both. So
Yeah,
there.
I don't know the Paddingtons. I haven't seen any. I'll eventually watch those with Cole and maybe
They're
this
wonderful.
one. Yeah. So, all right, and then finally, Best Picture Cast upcoming stuff. 1001 by One. Best Picture Cast. Our 5th anniversary. Wings is coming up.
It is 5 years. Chris, can you
Unbelievable.
believe it? Can you believe you're not only are you still here doing this with us, but you've upped the ante and you're actually hosting these things. And
I have no idea what's wrong with me.
you used to complain about being on them. Now
Yeah.
you're here a
Now
part
we're
of ones you're not even on.
I do enjoy being behind the scenes, though.
Yes,
That's
yes,
good.
it wears you well.
So that's 5 years. That episode's going to be awesome, and we're going to get some clips.
Hey, it's a 1927 movie. We got 5 of us chatting about it.
Hell yeah.
I wonder if there's any recording anywhere of 5 dudes sitting around talking about Wings. I don't know.
We are hitting a market.
Yes, I very niche, I feel like.
And you know what? It's going to get listens. These people are going to be like, what?
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a good
awesome.
conversation. So I'm looking forward to that one. We'll have
Forrest Gump,
Forrest Gump coming up
which
after
was
that.
a great conversation with an absolutely unhinged
One
woman.
of my favorite
was great.
recording sessions since we've done this thing.
I agree.
Honestly, it was an awesome conversation. It has a great moment at the end where Brendan
something.
B just grabs the microphone and goes off cuff CM Punk style.
I have some bad news for you.
Yeah.
Bad news, Brendan out there.
Yeah. Tarantino fans might not love that section, but and then we'll have our Coda episode.
And what it happened one night.
It happened one night and then Coda. Yeah, so yeah, it happened one night. We'll be with the Freezers, Adam, Melissa,
Great.
and Tiffany will be on that.
Nice.
And then we haven't locked in the Coda crew, but the Coda crew has been notified, so they just
Nice.
have to give me their confirmations. So,
Nice. And then our Oscar special with Adam, which is such a great episode.
yeah.
And then 1001 by One, we have our Wong Kar Wai ranking coming out Friday, which I think is a great episode. Then our season wrap up. And then we're kicking the next season off with 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, the season's going right in. There's no break.
Yeah, we might do a little break, but recording-wise, we're going
that's-
right into
wow.
it, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, so good stuff. And that is on the feed.